Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports, and let's geek out for a few minutes because I want to show you a few things that will justify why I've chosen the Pro Discover Team Edition bags over the bags that I was originally going to use, which were a T-5 bag. So this is what I meant in a previous video, that it's just a really sturdy and very durable fabric. And this particular top backloader from T-5 is the same capacity as the one I'm using. So what I thought I would do, so I've zeroed out, I've tared this, so I got a clipboard here. And it's the only way to weigh stuff like this. So let's move this out of the way. It's about 402 grams, right? Completely empty. And this is the bag I chose to use. So same capacity. I've got it folded up quite a bit. So, 182. So 402, 182. So about 220 grams. So if you're thinking, well, what's the big deal? 220 grams. Well, let's talk about it this way. Because this right here is over 1,000 calories. Which, if I'm riding fairly moderate, that's another 6 hours of fuel. If I'm going really hard, 1,000 calories is probably only about 4 hours. If I'm riding really hard, I'm racing, then, it's just over 3 hours. So in other words, I've got 6 hours of extra fuel because I've chosen to use the Pro bag instead of the T-5 bag, right? So as I mentioned before, this is about 402. Yep, there it is, measured out again. 402 compared to 182 or 81, whatever. Okay, so same capacity, but now I'm able to carry over 1,000 more calories of powder. And, this is about 230, so another, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I take gels, that's 400. I'm sorry. Usually it's 100 per, but these are 150 calories per. So 4 times 150, that's 600 calories. So the powder, 1,000 more calories, and or 4 more gels. So anyway, let's move on from that because I do want to show you a couple other things. This pedal system, the Favero Asioma pedals, just a fantastic, affordable pedal system. It's portable. You move it from bike to bike. It's rechargeable. And typically, the battery life is no problem. 50-hour battery life. So for most people, that's 2 to 3 weeks worth of riding, if not more. So, and you can get like 25,000 charges out of this before it degrades any. Shane Miller did the math one day. Now, the challenge now is that this event is 750 miles. I won't be able to, I could, but I just don't want to carry the proprietary charging cable for it. And it's just basically the final little part that connects to this. Everything else is USB. But 750 miles, 50 hours, that means I have to average about 15 miles per hour pedal time because they shut off within like 5 minutes of you not pedaling. So I don't know what to expect, 40,000 feet of climbing. So instead, I'm going to ride a stages because that's about, well, let's just say it's well over 100 hours. And this is an older stages. I've used it for years to put it on people's bikes so they get an idea of what it's like to ride with power. And then we purchase a power meter of any of any type, but at least they have a way to demo it. And it's also been recently installed on my son's bike, and he was all about it when he found out he was actually reading power on his bike. So, but I wanted to show you something, and hopefully this will show up. So the battery pod, or the actual computer sensor, whatever you want to call it, runs really close to this bottle. It doesn't touch. This is not a very good angle. Let me try this angle from here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so it's not that close, but this is just Velcroed on here. So I just got to be careful with it that it doesn't rub against there, but no problem on either side, drive side or non-drive side, but I'm sure it'll get jostled around. Especially there's some cobblestone sections that, some of these towns are fairly old, so they still have some cobblestone roads that lead in and out of the town. Now, if I stay in the big ring, which I expect to be in a good portion of this ride, they say that most of the climbs are 4 to 6%, so that's significantly shallower than anything we have here in San Diego. So I wanted to show you this toolkit here because I mentioned before that I had this tool bag, and I had it inside the seat post bag, but I was like, that's taking up a lot of space. Let's take this out of the seat post bag. Instead of having all the items loose, I just transferred the items here to this toolkit. Now, a couple of things as well. Since I'm going to use this power meter, I'm going to replace the battery on that. And, just another one of those tips of things to make sure that you're doing before you head out. Make sure your power meter battery has been replaced. I also will replace the battery in my heart rate strap. They're both 2032s, so super simple to replace that. But I believe that that's all for this video, and I just wanted to take you along on geeking out as to not to be a weight weenie just because you want the lightest stuff, but what if you could actually use that weight for something else? So saving the weight of the bag and then use that same weight for nutrition, which in this case will eventually go away because you're going to eat it, drink it, whatever. Whereas the weight of that bag is going to be constant throughout the rest of the event, the race, the charity ride, whatever it is, right? So in this case, you're saving 200 or so grams, but that to me is 1,000 calories worth of powder. And then once that powder goes away, that 200 gram difference that I gained, now I'm actually at a benefit. I wanted to show you one other thing. So let's tear this out. All right, so that's 0 now. This is the half frame bag, and this one is 5.5 liters of capacity. This one is 2.7 liters of capacity. In other words, half of it. But you could just see how, to some people this may seem flimsy. To me, it's purpose built. It's what you need. So now let's put this on here. Yeah, and this bag, so this bag carries 2.7 liters worth of stuff, and it only weighs 64 grams. Again, if you're going to be weight conscious, do it for the right reasons. In this case, this is a bag that only weighs 64 grams, but it's going to be able to carry so much food for you or tools or whatever. But in this case, if I were to swap these two bags out, I'd have half the capacity to carry food. But, it's just to show you how light these Discover bags are. And this is the team edition, and these are just, they're just great, And if you are someone that worries about aerodynamics or whatever, filling in this main triangle is an aerodynamic advantage. So the more you can fill in this, just like bikes that don't have down tubes, they just have this curved section here. You remember the old Pinarellos or the Lotus bikes. Those are more aerodynamic because they have less tubes. So in this case, if you fill in this void here of the main triangle, it's more aero. So who knows? Maybe go with the big bag or the small bag. Either way, they're both super light and they have very good carrying capacity. Okay, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.